Good evening out there. Well, the sun has slowly made its way down once again, and we can finally get comfortable and have a chat. My name is Eddie Booze, and this is Exit the Matrix. Throughout my life, I have traversed my share of rabbit holes, and like many of you out there, I have seen and experienced some things that I simply cannot explain. I invite you all to consider that this world may not be what we've been told it is, and that maybe, just maybe, we haven't even scratched the surface of the truths that lie before us. That being said, let's get into today's episode. I'd like to welcome my guest. Welcome back, Mr. Joel David Reed. Coach, I'm going to start calling you Coach from now on. I don't know why. You're not a coach.
We like coaching.
All right. Now I'm just fucking around. All right, Joel. Good to see you again. We're going to jump back into the cryptids.
Yeah.
So we have been talking about cryptids the last few episodes. Actually, I might switch this up, and that might confuse you all because I might make this the first episode in the cryptid series. So, all right, because what we're gonna do today is we're gonna dive into 25 of the most well-known cryptids 25 cryptids from the most well-known down to the most forgotten, and we're gonna rank them by how dangerous they are, and we're just gonna kind of explore them a little bit and just kind of talk about which ones they are. Okay. All right, so we either, depending on whether this episode is first or second or third, we either have already talked about or are going to talk about the Patterson Gimlin footage from 1967. So either stay tuned or I hope you enjoyed. But we're going to talk about Bigfoot right now. So number one, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. We got the... what region is Bigfoot in? He's in North America, especially the Pacific Northwest, which I personally have spent a lot of time in the Pacific Northwest myself. Absolutely love the Pacific Northwest. In fact, that's where I saw that Birdman thing.
Yeah.
It was on the border of Idaho and Oregon. That's Pacific Northwest. That is some of the most beautiful place, that just is on earth, dude. It's so gorgeous out there.
Only been to Oregon once, but it was lush and beautiful.
It is, and it's not just Oregon. It's Northern California, Washington, Idaho. All those states.
I'm from Texas. Anything that ain't completely
Northern Nevada, things like
and
that. Dude, there are some. This country has got some absolutely amazing topography.
So
dude.
diverse, yeah.
Northern New Mexico is some of the most beautiful terrain I've ever driven through, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy beautiful out there.
Sedona, Arizona, I think has got to be the most beautiful
Sedona.
Spot that I've ever seen.
Sedona's beautiful. There are some really cool places. The Red Rock Canyons in Utah are gorgeous. I've been to some. Quite a few places in this country that'll just blow your mind.
Yeah,
waterfalls, places where we used to camp we'd gold mine when we go gold mining and dredging for gold in Central and Northern California. Yeah, dude,
wow,
crazy. And just driving up the 101, going through the redwoods, you have these huge mountains and redwood forests on your right, and then the beaches crashing waves on your left. It's like two absolute worlds that it's like oil and water right there, but it's the most beautiful parts of it both, Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic. So now that we're done sucking off the Pacific Northwest, let's go ahead and continue on with our episode here.
I never just said that yesterday because now it's just all I see is pattern recognition now.
All right. So what they say. So the description. All of you guys know what a fucking Bigfoot looks like. Okay, Bigfoot is a tall, hairy, ape-like creature, often described as being between 6 and 10 feet tall. Walks upright, leaves large footprints, hence the Bigfoot name, and is possibly a surviving Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus or unknown hominoid. Danger score. Now this one was interesting. I thought this one was fairly appropriate, actually. This is a 3 out of 10. They're said to be usually shy and non-aggressive. Any danger would likely stem from surprise or fear.
Yeah. Makes sense.
They're not. We don't have what this is saying essentially is we don't have a ton of records out there of people being attacked by them. You know what I'm saying?
They don't exist anymore.
Well, the
people don't.
What?
The people that got attacked.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? All right, I get it. People do exist. The people do exist, Joel.
They exist. The encounter exists. It's just they're not around to tell us about it anymore.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's go to number 2. All right. What would you think number 2 would be if we're going most popular down the list? Bigfoot's number 1. What would number 2 be?
I don't know. Thunderbird.
Not even in the top 10.
But
bro.
Everyone's heard of a Thunderbird. You got a base named after it and everything.
It is. It is number 10. In the top 10.
It is
actually.
in the top 10. Cool.
It's the 10th in the top 10. So what's more? What do you guys think number 2 would be? All right, we're gonna do the top 25. Boom. That's it.
Yeah, like everyone knows Nessie.
So Bigfoot's number 1, Nessie's number 2. The Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness, Scotland, this region. Mm-hmm. Description is a long-necked aquatic creature resembling a plesiosaur. Mm-hmm. First modern sighting was in 1933. Now, that's
almost 100 years ago.
They're okay.
Freaking wild.
Right, exactly. So a couple notes about this is that there's been photos that have been frequently debunked, but persistent. They say that they may be misidentified sturgeon or wave patterns is what we're saying. It's like they say the pictures...
Sturgeon?
That's what they said.
How are you going to mistake a sturgeon for a plesiosaur?
Right, exactly. So,
okay.
I mean, we've all seen the picture, like the
neck?
Yeah, the whole thing with the hump coming out of the water in the neck. Yeah, exactly. So, but there's been the danger score on that one is 2 out of 10, and there's been no attacks reported, obviously. And if it's real, it's likely a passive aquatic entity.
Well, a plesiosaur was a herbivore.
Right.
So I don't
know my plesiosaurs enough to know.
Well, the plesiosaur was basically designed like a smaller, like brontosaurus with fins instead of legs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Moving on. Number 3. What do you think number 3 would be if number 1's Bigfoot, number 2's Nessie, what would number 3 be? I feel like this one is pretty standard.
I don't know. Everyone knows skinwalkers. It seems to be like the flavor of the month ever since that.
That's definitely in the top 10, but it's not number 3. The next 3, like this one, the next one, and the next one are all like super well known, super well known. In fact, top 10.
Mothman, then.
Good guess, great guess, but no. It's the Chupacabra.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Chupacabra, region Latin America and southern United States. Yep. The description is the goat sucker that allegedly drains livestock blood. Early reports describe a reptilian, alien-like creature with spines, and that later reports resemble hairless dogs.
Like the picture that I've seen of it looked like kind of like a shaved Tasmanian devil.
With like spines coming out of its back, right? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen. Well, maybe it had
I've seen
spines.
that.
I was more focused on the fact that it just had the most hideous looking like
face.
Yeah. It is like the ugliest chihuahua
you don't gotta
you've
be
ever
mean,
seen.
dog. Fuck.
It's
so
a monster.
mean.
It's a
so
creature.
Mean. Yeah, well,
it has a horror rating.
He's got a mom too, dude. All right.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure she loves him.
Many sightings likely misidentified. So essentially, they're saying a lot of these sightings were likely misidentified canines with mange.
There's a lot of different breeds of wild dogs.
But original Puerto Rican reports suggest something a lot stranger. Now,
Puerto Rican?
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure exactly
That's like
what
across an ocean.
Well.
Interesting. No, because it's like
there's boats, dog.
No, I know that, but it's like usually you think Chupacabra, you think plains, the Chihuahua Desert, part of Mexico,
you think
part of
you think Latin America and Yeah, you think Mexico. You think Mexico for sure. But here's the thing. So it says that the danger score is 7 out of 10, and that they're predatory towards animals, and but theoretically dangerous towards humans if they're cornered. Now,
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know, dude. What do you think about that one? Do you think the Chupacabra is real, or you think it's just some like story that Mexican moms tell their kids before they go to sleep? Like don't sneak out at night. The Chupacabra is gonna come and eat your ass. Not in a good way.
Okay, so here's the thing: is there is evidence of livestock drained of blood. There are corpses.
Yeah, that's true.
And there are, little fang marks in them.
That's true.
And I don't know. I'm like, I couldn't tell you it doesn't exist. Do I think it looks like what we think it looks like? I don't know. For some reason, I always pictured like some kind of like, even as a kid, I didn't know what to picture, but like Chupacabra, like, it's like you told what it is. You pictured like a giant vampire bat, kind of like a man bat from Batman, like that weird, like that's what, but knowing that, that it is some kind of wild dog, that part confuses me. You know what?
The very first reports of the Chupacabra came from Puerto Rico.
I did not know that.
Yeah, in 1995, actually, this is a fairly recent cryptid. I mean, 1995 was the very first reports of the Chupacabra in Puerto Rico, after a rash of unexplained livestock killings, actually. And the corpses were said to, just like you said, be completely drained of blood. They had strange bite marks, and they were obviously unlike typical predator attacks because they didn't eat the flesh, they just drained the blood.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And also, when you think about that, livestock. Okay, now my uncle works in the used cow business. Cows are big. They're very big. That's a lot of blood.
Yeah, dude.
To drain.
Bovine are huge. Okay, check this out. So, do you ever see the movie Species?
Oh yeah.
Not Natasha Henstridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first eyewitness description of a Chupacabra eerily resembled the alien from that movie. And actually that's what led many skeptics to suggest mass hysteria or that it was influenced by pop culture. Did you know that?
Did not know that, but that makes sense. That's so weird because like I remember like, and I mean of course this was a cartoon, but like I remember the Chupacabra there was the animated Zorro series. Mm-hmm. And Zorro had to fight one of those, and so, and I mean, who's gonna fact check history on a cartoon? It's not that necessary. But the point is, I figured it was just a much older legend.
Right.
For some reason, as a kid, I figured it was just a much older legend. 95?
1995.
I'm older than the Chupacabra?
Yep, you're older than the first known Chupacabra, sir.
That is strange.
Very, very interesting, actually. There's some, over time, reports of the Chupacabra sightings spread throughout Mexico, southern United States, especially Texas, and Central America, each with a slight regional variances in the creature's appearance. And then there were two different specific types of Chupacabra that were constantly being reported. One was a reptilian type, which is the Puerto Rican origin. And its appearance was 3 to 4 feet tall, bipedal, spiny back, like I saw, large red eyes, green scaly skin. It allegedly capable of leaping great distances and sucking blood through puncture wounds. More in line with a sci-fi creature or alien hybrid. Now the other one is more of a canine type.
Yeah.
And that was what the mainland reports, like Mexico, Texas, and those areas reported that. Hairless, mangy dog-like creature are often mistaken for coyotes or foxes with severe mange, attacks livestock but leaves behind physical damage rather than surgically precise blood loss.
So that sounds like a wild dog to me.
Well, that's what most biologists believe. This version is a coyote with sarcoptic mange or something along those lines, leading to a frightening appearance. There's no hard evidence, obviously, that the Chupacabra is real.
So there's two different species of Chupacabra that have been reported.
Let's put it this way. If I were to make a educated guess here, I would guess that the legend of the Chupacabra that originated in Puerto Rico is probably the closest thing to the real thing that if it's real.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking here is that somebody, from Puerto Rico or Puerto Rican, somebody who visited Puerto Rico or something, caught on to this legend, saw a dog with one of these, sarcoptic mange or coyote with sarcoptic mange or something along those lines, and
just felt too familiar.
They just assumed it was something, and the only thing they heard from Puerto Rico, hey, there's this beast out there, it must be this thing. You know what I mean? So it just, to me, it just feels like it's a bad game of telephone. You know what I mean? I feel like the things that they've been seeing on the mainland don't really qualify as an actual Chupacabra. I feel like the Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that sounds. Well, also it's scaly. Puerto Rico's an island. It's not a chunk of a continent.
Right.
So it makes sense. Like if it is meant for subtropic climates and or aquatic travel,
right, exactly,
then reptilian makes
more sense. A lot more sense, exactly. Bingo. So that's my opinion. I think a Chupacabra is one of the real ones, which I'm not gonna. There are some on here. Maybe I'll say yes or no to, but I don't know. So, but if it is real, I would say that's more along the lines of probably the one that's closest to. There are so many things on this earth that we do not know.
Yeah.
Have not seen, finding new species every day, still all kinds of shit. So
and challenge rating 7 out of 10.
Not challenge rating, danger score.
Threat level, whatever
You're used to dangers and Dungeons and Dragons.
Challenge rating. How hard is this gonna fight? Look, dog, no one's rolling initiative. Just run, okay? Just run.
That's correct. That's correct.
We learned this the first time on Will Joel Survive?
Right. Oh, I love it. All right, so I like that game too.
That was really fun, by the way.
We're gonna have to do some of the Will Joel Survive from some of these cryptids.
Hell yeah.
I'll have to come up with a couple of scenarios for these cryptids and see if Will Joel survive or not. All right, so number 4, moving on. Number 4, the fourth one is, you already guessed it, Mothman.
Yeah,
you guessed it before. You thought it was the third, but dude, you're so close. Like I said. The last 3, the first 5 are like your top. Your
first 5 are number 1.
Your first 5 could be like your top 3. You know what I mean? And like any order, really.
Yeah.
So Mothman is from Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Yep. Now the story of the Mothman is very in depth, very intense. People saw them. From what I remember, I don't have I just have a little brief description here on each one. Mothman, the next one. But from what I remember on Mothman, it was the 70s. Did it say?
Yeah.
67.
Yeah, late 60s.
Ooh, that was the same year the Patterson Gimlin footage was filmed with Bigfoot.
You think they had something to do with this?
Interesting. I'm just saying that, listen, in the 80s, they made great horror icons. Mm-hmm. In 1967, they made great cryptids, all right? In the 80s, we had Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers. In 67, we had Bigfoot, Mothman, and
okay. We're going cryptids and we're going slasher films. Where does Pumpkinhead fall in this?
Pumpkinhead had to have been in like the mid 80s.
No, I know, but like, is that a creature or a killer? Is that
horror icon, not a creature? Because it was never like a real thing.
No, I know.
But I get where you're going with that, and I loved Pumpkinhead, and I would say Pumpkinhead, one of the scarier when you're a kid, that movie is terrifying, dude.
Oh yeah.
Terrifying.
I think and most of my life I remember watching horror films and just going, how did they do that?
Dude, I was not but I was
Pumpkinhead
legit.
Was no.
They legit scared me, bro. Like I was fully immersed in film. I still am. Even being a filmmaker today, I find I'm so fortunate with that, because with music it's not that way. Like being a musician, like when I hear songs, my brain automatically like deconstructs them as they're happening. And what is the bass doing? Let's take that and compartmentalize it over here. What are the drums? Like, what's
the trick? You can't
boom,
see the
boom,
magic.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So it's just like everything is just deconstructed instantly and goes. It's like
I feel that.
And so it's really hard to enjoy the music anymore, except for like really cool, interesting new bands that come out with their with new sounds. I'll be honest with you, like. The very first time I heard Turnstile, I was kind of like, okay, like this is newish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like they're adding they're doing something different.
There's more color and texture as far as voicing goes now. But
before that, there was there were bands like System of a Down, which came out like Sugar hit the radio, and you had never heard anything like that, that before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But taking it back to the pop culture stuff, so from that into the Cryptids, 1967 was a good year for Cryptids. It was a very fine year for Cryptids.
But Mothman. So 6 to 7 foot humanoid with glowing red eyes and large wings, linked with precognitive visions of disaster. Notably, the Silver Bridge collapse in 1967. So essentially, people saw this thing. And then, like, was it like a day later or like a week later that the bridge collapsed? It was.
Something
I think it was within days.
Within days, this giant bridge collapsed, and people, including newspapers and things like along those lines, gave some sort of credence to the fact that this thing had a connection with the collapse of the bridge. Yeah. Seeing it was some sort of premonition, was some sort of warning that it was going to happen.
A herald of doom.
Something along those lines. Exactly. So, that... Now, I seem to remember there being one other disaster that was pivotal to that story.
I thought there was a couple, yeah.
Yeah, I seem to remember there being one other major one, and I can't remember exactly what that is at the moment, but...
We can always do a deep dive into Mothman.
Well, here's the thing: it's the thought on that one is that it's possibly supernatural or an interdimensional being. Okay, now the danger score on that one is 6 out of 10. Ominous rather than aggressive, but may induce psychological trauma.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if you're in the vicinity when one of these things happen, it could be fatal. You know what I mean? If you're on that bridge and it collapses, it might not be a good day. So
yeah.
But I mean, like, what are your thoughts on? Okay, so what are your thoughts on the two aspects of Mothman? One, his appearance, the fact that now, I don't remember if there were reports of that people seeing him in flight or not. But what do you think of the actual appearance and like what people saw in 67 of this? Do you think that it was possible that they were seeing something real? Do you think that the Mothman is exactly what we're explaining it as some sort of like some sort of precognitive thing, that like brings with it, disaster?
I don't think it brings disaster with it. Personally, okay, we're going off the description. Tall, glowing, wings.
Yeah.
We're getting into rough descriptions of angels.
Or demons. Right.
But the thing is,
red glowing eyes.
Right.
Things along those lines.
Right.
I mean,
but here's the thing I'm getting at is it also goes into interdimensional creature. Well, knowing what we know of the mythology, the belief systems behind angels and or the hierarchy thereof, it's like, does it not make sense that they are interdimensional beings? They're from somewhere else. The heavens could be a whole nother plane of existence, and it coming with a warning. It feels very. For some reason, I want to say there's something spiritual here, or interdimensional that could be taken as spiritual.
Very interesting.
I think, that. Why do you think every time an angel shows up in the Bible, their first words are, "Don't be afraid, I brought good news. Fear not," because they're not. They're So I don't know. I've always had an interesting take on Mothman, thinking it's some kind of angelic being with a warning.
That's a very interesting take on that, and I really don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to think about that, and it's a very interesting. I think you're going to find this very interesting. Okay, so the key sightings and associated disasters with the Mothman are as follows. Number one, the Point Pleasant and the Silver Bridge collapse in 1967. Between November 1966 and December 1967, over 100 sightings of the Mothman were reported around Point Pleasant. On December 15, 1967, the Silver Bridge connecting Point Pleasant, West Virginia to Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed, killing 46 people.
Wow.
Connection. After the collapse, sightings ceased entirely. Many believe the Mothman was either warning of the disaster or somehow caused it. Number two, Chernobyl nuclear disaster. 1986. Location, Pripyat, Ukraine, then USSR. Disaster. On April 26th, 1992, there was a riot in the streets. Tell me, where were you? I'm just kidding. On April 26th, 1986. I mean, was that was the date in the song, right?
Was it not? I don't know.
I can't remember. I think it
was.
was. It sounded right, so I just went with it. All right. So it's April 26, 1998. The reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded.
Wild.
Mothman reports. Workers allegedly saw a large black bird-like creature dubbed the Black Bird of Chernobyl days before the meltdown. Some claim to receive prophetic dreams or strange phone calls as well. Now, the status on that one is largely anecdotal and surfaced years after the disaster, but widely circulated in Mothman lore and was taken seriously.
It's really
maybe it was who I could look into that one a little bit further, but maybe it was who said it, and the fact that it was multiple of the guys that said they were having strange dreams and strange phone calls and had seen this thing.
Yeah.
In the fact that it wasn't just one guy who said it, who made the reports. Maybe one guy. Maybe years later, one guy decided to finally come out. With the information, and the others were like, "Yeah, I saw the same shit, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like I thought I was crazy."
And that's usually how it is. Everyone's too a little too embarrassed or insecure to actually want to go forward, and then someone says something, and they're like,
and everyone else stands up and goes, "It happened to me. It happened to me too." Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right, number 3, 9/11.
Okay, I was going to say, did you know that more people were late to work that morning? So then record-breaking numbers of people just straight up late to work.
Okay, check this out.
Or just didn't go. It's wild.
All right, so check this. Is there if we have to do 8 episodes on 9/11 to get into even scratching the surface of the conspiracy theories surrounding that. And the truth surrounding that, to be honest with you. It's really, really sketchy, dude. But 9/11 terror attack 2001. Location, New York City. Claim. Some urban legends state that a winged creature was spotted near the Twin Towers prior to the September 11th attacks, especially by a few residents of Lower Manhattan. Now, these stories are far less documented and are often considered speculative or apocryphal, okay? Now, we're going to get into a few lesser known ones. The I-35 West Bridge collapse in Minneapolis in 2007. This event, the I-35 West Mississippi River Bridge collapsed on August 1st, 2007, killing 13 people and injuring 145. The Mothman connection. Reports surfaced of a winged humanoid seen near the bridge weeks before the collapse. Eyewitnesses described it as Mothman-like, but few solid accounts exist. You see what I'm saying? So there's only a few accounts that we can actually trace of people that actually did see it, of eyewitnesses described, of the eyewitnesses. All right, so Mexico earthquake, the 5th and final one. The Mexico earthquake of 2017. Disaster. On September 19, 2017, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck central Mexico, killing over 370 people. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
An earthquake killed 370 people.
Yep.
Dude.
You remember that?
I
People were
remember
trapped
the
in a
earthquake.
mine
Did not know that 370 people got killed in that. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That
dude.
was
wow, man.
fucking tragedy.
Yeah, saying a prayer tonight, brother. That's crazy. Oh, Mothman sightings in that one. Locals in Chihuahua and other areas claim to see a flying humanoid in the sky days beforehand, leading to viral speculation that the Mothman had returned. Now, again, not really sure about that, but I will say that Mothman has more, probably, I would say it's closer to Bigfoot in the amount of times it's been seen, the amount of times it's been reported over time, different places.
The diversity.
Yeah. There's been so many different, like, on the scale of like eyewitness accounts. Mothman is up there, up there with like Bigfoot and those types of entities. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we haven't any reports of it attacking people, but you know, I mean, we see, you know.
I don't know. Personally, I think. Yeah, I already said what I think. It's like the Silver Surfer. I'm showing up here to tell you shit's about to go down.
Right? Get out of town, bro. All right, so number 5. What do you think number 5 is?
Okay.
We went through Bigfoot, Nessie, Chupacabra, and Mothman so far. What do you think number 5 would be? It's very well known, extremely well known. In fact, you even said it yesterday during our episode yesterday.
Jersey Devil?
Yes, you did.
My favorite.
Jersey Devil, the region, Pine Barrens, New Jersey. Description: a winged, hooved creature with a goat-like head and a piercing scream. Said to be the cursed 13th child of a woman named Leeds. Now, this is deeply embedded in local folklore. The danger score on this one is slightly lower than the Mothman, though. It's 5 out of 10. Because it has, but see, I feel like this one's more dangerous than Mothman.
Way more.
Okay, so the sporadic aggression has been reported from this thing, okay? And it may be, but the reason I think that the score is low is because people think that it may be more of a myth than a menace.
Yeah.
And I
think Mothman's score is high is because they think mass casualty rating might be due to him, but I don't think that's a thing.
I'm curious, like, so what do you know about the Jersey Devil?
Oh man, let's see. I used to know quite a bit, but it was I thought it was a cursed child during shortly after the like the founding of the colonies, but dude, I know that like as late as 1997 there's been reports of dogs getting attacked, but yeah, it body of like a deer, weird like horned goat head, dragon,
right.
reptilian wings.
Yep, winged creature, hooves, goat or horse-like head, bat-like wings, a forked tail.
Yeah, the spaded tail. I forgot about that one. That's what makes it the devil.
And a piercing, blood-curdling scream, like we talked about. Also, they say it walks on 2 legs and is often said to move incredibly fast too. Sometimes flying, sometimes galloping too. And dude, like the Jersey Devil dates back to the 1700s. Dude.
I know it
like,
dates
way back, and it's very endearing to the locals too. By the way. You know?
Yeah.
But it's apparently, like we said, you know, it was a woman known as Mother Leeds, already the mother of 12 children, discovered she was pregnant again and cursed the unborn child in frustration, crying out, "Let it be the devil." When the child was born, it initially appeared human, but then transformed into a hideous beast, killed the midwife, and flew up into the chimney into the Pine Barrens. Since then, sightings of the creature have persisted. That's wild. That's a crazy origin story, dude. I want to see that movie.
Actually,
yeah, right?
Ooh, actually,
you know, for real, dude.
It'd be like the Vavitch, but like.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
But,
seriously.
But. Ooh.
Yeah, so sightings and panic. So 1909 was the height of the panic. Hundreds of sightings were reported across New Jersey and even in Philly. Schools closed, workers stayed home, and armed mobs roamed the woods. I'm not sure if you guys aren't familiar with the East Coast, like this if you live in California and you've never been to the East Coast, like the states are much smaller out there up the East Coast, so you can driving in and out of states just super quickly and easily. Whereas it takes you 12 hours to go from the bottom of California to the top of California, more like 14. So you never leave California. California is too fucking big. But you go in and out of Jersey. Last time I was in Jersey, I was in and out of Philadelphia like the entire time.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I just went to New York with my girl.
It's very some of these states are small, fairly small out there, and you can go from one state to the next, and you could be in another state really quickly here. So for it to have been that's like one area. You know what I mean? Like Philly and Jersey are like right on the border, and it's a small area right there.
A half-hour train ride.
Yeah. So schools were closed, dude, because of the Jersey Devil in 1909. Workers stayed home, and armed mobs roamed the woods. The good old days, bro. Looking for the Jersey Devil.
Gaston just said, "We're doing this. Follow me into the woods.
Grab this boys and get it on out." Oh, that's great. All right. So witnesses included police officers, clergy, and prominent citizens, giving the legend more credibility at the time. Oh, dude, I gotta say, like...
I think it's the most credible.
Shit happens, bro, when these things... Dude, there are things we do not know about, dude. I mean, you know about the Enfield poltergeist, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the Enfield haunting, like, how many witnesses were there to that? Hundreds.
Including an entire
cops,
stadium?
Including police officers, EMTs, clergy,
reporters,
TV crews.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, so there are things out there, and when you, I hate to say this, but like when you get enough corroborative eyewitness statements, you got to take it at least somewhat seriously, or you know what I mean, or give it a little credit. But then again, like I've seen well enough myself times where something's completely not happening or not true, and somebody says out of fear or panic that thing is true, and another person says, "I saw it too," you know, and then another goes, "Oh, I'm like, yeah, you know," and
I saw him
or whatever,
see the thing.
Yeah, or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or they interpret something they may have seen days earlier as something that could be that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, people are their imaginations. If they let them run wild, they will.
Oh, your brain, your imagination is designed to run wild.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so known that like eyewitness testimony is not the most reliable source.
Right, exactly.
It's like, but when you have 3 states worth of people saying this has been going on for 200 years.
Yeah, and constant sightings. Sightings since the early 1900s. And bro, you got, let's put this in a perspective for a moment. It wasn't just sightings. Schools were closed. People stayed home from work. There were fucking armed mobs roaming the woods to kill this thing.
This was DEFCON,
bro. Like it was serious. It was dead serious to these people. So, but anyway, so the Jersey Devil might actually be maybe the most witnessed. I would still say probably Bigfoot, right? There had to be more sightings of Bigfoot than the Jersey Devil over time, but maybe we should throw Jersey Devil as far as like eyewitness sightings and like most popular up at like number 2. You know what I mean? Or number 3, around there. I feel like the Chupacabra one is a mistake. I really do. And I feel like Mothman, I feel like you might be right about that. I feel like that one might be some sort of, either interdimensional or spiritual being, along those lines. But anyway, that being said, moving to number 6, what do you think it is?
Grayling. No, I don't know.
Nope.
Really?
Go guess again. Go again.
That was intentionally like.
So this one's a fairly simple one. We talked about this one a little bit yesterday. And I'll give you a hint. This one also may have some relation to one of the ones we already mentioned on this list.
Oh, Yeti?
Bingo. Bigfoot's icy cousin, covered in a white or gray fur, associated with high altitude encounters in
Tibet and Nepal,
the Himalayas. So the Sherpas revere the Yeti spiritually, and fossil evidence has been inconclusive. And the danger score of this one is 4 out of 10, just a slight bit more than Bigfoot. It's more reclusive than aggressive. High altitude terrain presents more danger than the creature.
Right.
And yeah, apparently it's not out there ripping people's dicks off and, attacking people.
Yikes.
I mean, that's good. It's a good thing, right?
Yeah. I don't want to get gelded by the abominable snowman.
Right? Exactly. All right, so number 7. What do you think number 7 is?
Number 7.
You said this one today. You mentioned it today.
Oh, the Thunderbird? No, wait. I mentioned it today.
You did. You mentioned it today. What is it?
Wait, the Pukwudgie?
No, you didn't say that today.
I did, but
No,
that was before the cameras were rolling.
All right, I'll give you a hint. The hint is the territory. The American Southwest, the Navajo territory. What would that be?
The no, wait, that Bridgewater Triangle's Algonquin.
Okay, so it would be in like Utah.
Oh, I can't remember the name of the freaking Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalkers, correct. So I knew if I gave you the state that the ranch was in, you'd get it. All right, so the region, American Southwest Navajo Territory. The description is a witch or dark shaman capable of shape-shifting into animals or mimicking voices. Rooted in Navajo legend, considered extremely taboo and said to be malevolent and intelligent. The danger score on this one, 9 out of 10. If real, these entities are not biological, but spiritual and extremely dangerous. These are the ones that if you hear your name being called in the woods, you hear help, and you hear that in the woods over and over again, turn around and walk the other way.
If you see something, say nothing and drink to forget.
You see something, you see someone like standing in the field or something like that, like not moving but screaming for you to come and help them. And they're not answering you if you try and talk to them and ask them their name, what's wrong, and all they can say is the same thing over and over again. These are the types of reports that I've read of what skinwalkers are. It's literally giving me the chills, the goosebumps just thinking about some of these encounters. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, be careful. You ever hear that kind of thing out in the woods? I mean, you gotta kind of make sure it's not somebody, but like just be careful. You know.
And also, I would say to people that don't study these things on a reverence side of. Okay, so I'm Mescalero Apache and Lakota Sioux. My grandfather was full blood.
You're a liar.
Anyways.
Prove it, dog.
My mom's got a DNA test.
Show me your papers.
56% of their DNA is Plains Indian.
Just show me your monthly paycheck from the casino, and I'll believe you.
Yeah, Point is, a lot of people will talk about these entities all willy-nilly. Mm-hmm. A lot of people will mention them, and especially in the gaming community. I swear to God, if I end up hearing something about I'm not gonna finish the word. Don't even finish the word. The more you mention them, the more it attracts their energy. And I'm not kidding. Just the people who.
It's next on the list. Yeah, it's next on the list.
Which one?
The one you just were talking about. It's next on the list.
Nice.
But yeah, so skinwalkers. Okay, I want to just mention another thing about them too. So skinwalkers, there are a couple of things that I remember. They said that the inflection won't change if they're like calling your name or they're calling for help or something like that. Like it will sound like the same call over and over again. Like a
soundbite.
Like a recording, like replaying over and over again. Also, a lot of people say that if they go towards the sound, if they're like going into the woods to go after it, they said that the thing always sounds the same distance away from them, no matter how far they travel. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like they're ever getting closer to it. You know what I mean? And then a lot of times when they're yelling out for it, it stops. I think that's when you're in the most danger. If you followed this thing to a point where you're calling out for it and it stops responding to you, you need to turn around and run the other direction as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion, dude. I feel like skinwalkers are are like on this list of the things we've just been talking about. I would say of the 7 things, this is number 7. I would say this is probably the scariest and probably the most. You're probably the most apt to run into one of these things. Just walking around the fucking American, Western coast, I would think that these, I don't think you're going to run into the Jersey Devil. I don't think you're running into Bigfoot. You know why? Because I don't think they want you to see them.
There it is. They're not trying to catch you.
Yeah, exactly. Because this wants you to come and find it.
It wants you to hear the bait, and then right when you realize there's no one here, it's like, yeah, that was bait.
Right, exactly.
And it's the psychology of a hunter.
This is hunting people. The other ones aren't. Exactly. Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on from the skinwalkers, all right? So we're moving into another, but this one's another like super dark, super scary one, okay? So number 8 is the Wendigo. Now, the region is Canada and the northern U.S., okay? And the description is a spirit of insatiable hunger and cannibalism, sometimes depicted as excuse me. Can I speak properly? Sometimes depicted as a gaunt, not giant, gaunt humanoid with antlers. Okay, now this originates in Algonquin folklore. Okay, it's considered a cursed state, and not just a creature. Okay,
no, it's a punishment.
Right. Now the danger score on this one, 10.
Absolutely.
Out of 10.
Yep. This
represents possession and madness, spiritually and physically destructive. This thing will kill you.
And cannibalism.
Fuck yeah. Well, so, and. Have you ever seen the movie Ravenous with Guy Pearce from 1999? It might have been 97. I think it was 99. Guy Pearce was this. He's just a soldier in the Mexican-American War in the 1800s, and he is a coward. In the middle of the battle he's fighting, he sees everyone getting shot and killed, and he falls to his knees and plays dead in the middle of the town square, and they throw his body in this giant
mass grave
with a bunch of other bodies. And he laid there with his commanding officer, a real hero, with his blood dripping down his throat for a day. And somehow he gained that man's essence. Because Commander's blood, half shot off head, was just laying on his head and just dripping blood down his throat. And so, and after that guy had got his blood in him, he gained his essence, the commanding officer's essence, and he crawled out from below that pile and single-handedly took over the fort that they were in from behind enemy lines. He was named a captain and sent out west to this fort on the western, and around Colorado. When he gets there, it's Neil McDonough, David Arquette, Jeffrey Jones.
It's a good cast.
Great dude.
I'm like, this is a great cast.
Great cast, and like two or three other like solid actors, right? And he is an outcast. They don't want him there really, but the movie is. But while they're there, Robert Carlyle also comes stumbling into camp, and he's half dead, and it's cold. It's winter, in the middle of winter, in the middle of the mountains, and he says that he escaped from this camp that he was at. That some settlers were coming over the mountains, and they got caught in a snowstorm, and they ended up having. He tells him this horrible story that the guy who was leading them, took them all into this cave to get shelter, and then he killed them all to eat them. And the guy escaped and blah 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 and stuff. So he takes these people from this. They say, oh well, there was one woman who's alive left up there. I'm sorry, I left her. I couldn't stay anymore. And they say, oh, we have to go and get this lady. You know what I mean? So like we have to go and see if she's out there. So the guy, Robert Carlyle, takes them up into the mountains, back to this cave, to find this. To find this woman and see if she's still alive, and see what's going on. And it's wild, bro. Like that movie is so damn good. And like I just gave you the basic first 10 minutes of the opening, that establishes the film. from that point on, it turns into a film that has a lot to do with cannibalism, and it's based on the Wendigo, the story of the legend of the Wendigo. And when you eat someone else, you gain their essence, you gain their spirit and their strength, and it very strange, dude. Great, unbelievably good movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. Ravenous from 1999, I believe it is. It's just fantastic. You're gonna love this movie, and the soundtrack, dude, so good. It's so original. The music in this movie is like, mwah, a chef's kiss, dude.
Nice.
Whoever scored that movie did such a good job. I mean, such a damn good job. I almost feel like it's very Bear McCreary-ish.
Oh, okay.
It's original. You'll know what I'm talking about when you hear it.
It just has a bunch of different influences.
It's got some things you're gonna be like, that's a really cool, like that was really cool, you know, like really well composed, and it's not your average orchestra score, you know what I mean, like your average symphony. You know, it's very different, you know,
different
very different. Yeah, dude, cool backwoodsy banjo sometimes, some mandolin sometimes, you know, and then it goes into some darker things, and it's got a lot of really cool elements to it. But I would heavily suggest that movie. And then from there we'll go ahead.
Well, going along with the cannibalism, so it was a punishment, a curse for, like, in the winter months. In the winter months, when you have nothing, and you know, half a day's walk over there are some people, and they might have something. And if they don't have something, there's them. And you know, and desperate people do desperate things to survive. But it was literally a warning to, no matter how hungry you get, no matter how
don't do that.
You cannot eat your neighbor. There's a punishment worse than death for that.
Right.
And that's what when it's haunting you, people say, like, oh, they could see it out their window, and it's literally, it's a cursed hunger driving you to go there, to go do it. And it's like it's lurking there waiting for you to cross that threshold so it can just jump into you. And you're not gonna eat a person just so you can have some-thing jump into you and take you over. Not happening. I mean, like, if cannibalism,
not happening, bro.
If cannibalism is a prerequisite to be a superhero and have superhuman powers,
what?
I mean, that's what you just said. You get their essence, their strength. Their
yeah. In the movie. Yeah. I mean, in the fucking movie.
No, I'm just right? Like, if that's the prerequisite.
It's not my claim. I didn't say shit. You know what I mean? Like,
if that's the prerequisite, I think I'll still pass.
Right. For sure. You know, it's funny too. It's like, when that movie came out, I was like 18, and like when you're 18 and you see some shit like that, you're like, I'm just kidding.
It sounds like Green Inferno, where it's just like something that just like
No, dude, it's a great story, great acting, so fucking good, dude. It's very well put together. And it's not like it's not your average horror movie. It's not even a horror movie, to be honest with you. I'd say it's more of a psychological thriller, you know, than anything else. But it's got a lot of adventure in it, a lot of action in it. It's a lot of heavy movement to it. Some pretty hardcore, you know, violence in it too. I mean, I just explained some things to you, and they're pretty wild. And you see it, you know. So number 9, moving on from the last one. Number 9 is a little less dangerous, scoring an 8 out of 10. Territorial, intimidating, and possibly predatory.
Still pretty dangerous.
It comes from the Midwest. What do you think What do you think this is? Midwest. Danger score 8 of 10. Territorial, intimidating, and possibly predatory. First widely known from the Gable film hoax, but reports still persist.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. I know that name.
It's said to run at terrifying speeds and show signs of intelligence.
I can't think
And
of it.
I will say that this word right here, territorial, probably describes it best. Territorial.
I can't think of the
Dogman.
Oh, okay.
Dogman.
The Dogman. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so he's a bipedal canine standing 7 feet tall, said to run at terrifying speeds and show signs of intelligence. Okay, again, it was first widely known from the Gable film hoax, but reports still persist. And yeah, so Dogman, number 9. All right, we're gonna go to number 10. We're moving on to number 10. Number 10 is your beloved Thunderbird. You said, I don't know why you said that as number 1.
Because
how? Like, okay, we
that
just
is
went
a
through.
name. That is a creature everyone's heard of.
We legit just went through 9 or 8 or like. Out of the 9 we just mentioned, 5 of these are so unbelievably famous, but you went with Thunderbird over Bigfoot.
No.
Thunderbird for number 1.
No. Number 1 was always Bigfoot. You said what's number 2?
You didn't turn your brain on yet. Yeah, that's right. You're correct.
I was like, no, we already covered Bigfoot.
But once we got into it, your brain those synapses started firing, dog. You got it.
But yeah, well, there's there's so much mythos around a Thunderbird. There's so many pop culture references. I figured that would be a really popular one.
You know what was really cool? I loved the depiction of the Thunderbird or the Firebird in the Godzilla.
Oh, the way they did Rodan?
Yes, dude. That was so cool, dude. That was so badass. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Okay, so Thunderbird is from North America, especially from indigenous legends. It's a massive bird-like creature with wingspans over 15 feet tall. Maybe that's what I saw in the fucking Idaho that night.
Probably. No, you didn't get electrocuted.
Often seen before storms or disasters. Part of sacred Native American mythology, though some cryptozoologists link it to prehistoric birds. Now, it says danger score is 5 out of 10, and it's predatory. It could mistake humans for prey, but rarely reported to attack. Yep. Bro, I'm putting my money on what I saw that night in Idaho. What I talked to you about is this.
Well, but also take something into consideration: the wingspan. Okay, so Thunderbirds show up as one of 3 colors. Either they're super bright, or no, that's not that's a phoenix. No, Thunderbirds are black. So the big black bird of Chernobyl, Mothman with his wings,
could be Thunderbird.
It's a herald of doom, a warning right before, and it's that's why it's thunder.
It says often seen before storms or disasters. Wow.
And thunder comes right before lightning strikes.
All right. Well, let's move to number 11. That's an interesting one. I'm gonna have to look into that one a little bit. Much
more spiritual creature, I think, personally. But yeah.
All right. This one's the Flatwoods Monster, West Virginia. Description: a 10-foot tall entity with glowing eyes, spade-shaped head, and robotic lower half.
Wait, what?
Dog.
We got cyborg cryptids now?
A 10-foot tall entity with glowing eyes, a spade-shaped head, and a robotic lower half. Encountered by children in 1952.
52?
Yes. Now, this may be alien or tech-based entity. Witnesses reported nausea, possibly from radiation. Interesting. So, encountered by children in 52. And it may be alien or tech-based entity. Witnesses reported nausea, possibly from radiation.
That's wild.
Interesting. Now, the danger score on that 6 out of 10, not physically violent, but possibly hazardous due to unknown emissions.
Hazmat, yeah.
Interesting. The Flatwoods Monster. I'm gonna have to go into depth about this one.
That's not that's not the thing I was thinking of either.
No.
I can't even remember what it's called. I think it's just the Beast or something. He even has like a billboard out in the middle of nowhere. But I thought that's what you were about to describe. But yeah, no.
Interesting. So the Flatwoods Monster is also known as the Braxton County Monster or the Green Monster.
Yeah. The Braxton
It's one of the most iconic alien cryptids in American folklore, actually.
Oh, okay, so that's the same thing.
So a strange
that.
towering entity reportedly encountered on September 12th, 1952 in Flatwoods, West Virginia. Witnesses described it as an alien creature or mechanical suit, possibly part of a UFO sighting. Now, people said it was around 10 to 12 feet tall. They said it had a spade-shaped head or a cowl with glowing eyes. And it said its body was shadowy or robotic, often described as wearing a dark green metallic dress. A dark green metallic dress, right. And its hands were long, and it had like claw-like fingers. It said its eyes were glowing red or orange, and it floated or glided rather than walked.
They're describing Doctor Doom.
That's crazy, right?
They're straight up describing Doctor Doom. Like the armored body, the physical presence, the green tunic, the robot, the glowing eyes, the radiation.
You're right.
That's just straight up Doctor Doom.
He just described Dr. Doom.
That's scary. That is a scary thing to think about. I like.
And people did say that it reported a strong sulfur or metallic smell too.
Sulfur.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
But in 1952, a bright object was seen streaking across the sky and appeared to crash in the woods. A group of locals, including children and a National Guardsman, went over to investigate, and they encountered the monster on a hill near the landing site. Some experienced nausea and irritation, which many attributed to either fear or possible like a toxic gas, or like we were talking about some emissions that came out of it. Theories, ranged from extraterrestrial vegetation, possibly a crashed alien ship and pilot, to cryptid, to owl misidentification, which I thought, with my bird thing, military equipment, UFO crash cover-up theory, or mass hysteria fueled by Cold War paranoia and media sensationalism. Remember we were talking about the Jersey Devil. I saw it too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like 1909, people were closing down work. Like, I want the day off. I saw it too. You know what I mean? Like, shut down work for today.
Huh.
But the town of Flatwoods has fully embraced this legend. By the way, there's a Flatwood Monster Museum. Giant chairs shaped like the creature are found around town, and it's featured in games like Fallout 76, The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, and Project Blue Book. Pretty nuts, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the Flatwoods Monster, I'm gonna have to look a little bit more. I really do kind of like that one.
The mechanical nature and the extraterrestrial implications are strong there.
Right. I like it. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different than your average cryptid, So number 12, moving on. The Lizard Man of Scape Ore Swamp. Region, South Carolina. Description: a reptilian humanoid with glowing eyes and claws. Allegedly damaged cars and chased people. It was first reported in 1988, maybe exaggerated, but footprints and bite marks were found. So, danger score is 7 out of 10 on this one. Aggressive behavior makes it one of the more dangerous swamp cryptids. So, a reptilian humanoid with glowing eyes and claws allegedly damaged cars and chased people. Pretty nuts.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Pretty nuts. There you go.
That's
yeah.
Biting into cars. Like, hold on. Like to bite into a car.
It damaged cars and chased people. Now, there were footprints and bite marks were found. Now, I don't know if the bite marks were found on people or on cars or on whatever.
Yeah, I guess I kind of like put those two together in my head, but like
damaged cars. That's pretty big.
Yeah. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's strong. That's strong. All right, go to number 13. Bat Squatch.
Bat Squatch.
Pacific Northwest. A winged creature resembling a bat crossed with a primate. Sightings began after Mount St. Helens erupted. A winged creature resembling a bat crossed with a primate.
Now, see, that's what I thought the Chupacabra was. Because I've heard of such things. And I just figured that put the two together because I don't know why. But, like, when Mount St. Helens erupted.
Yeah. Interesting, right? Possibly an undiscovered species replaced by disaster. Bro, I mean, I'll be honest with you, dude. We've all seen Wizard of Oz, dude. We've all seen the flying monkeys in the Wizard of Oz, bro. Maybe those fuckers were real, dude. What were they called?
Flying monkeys.
They were, huh?
They're just flying monkeys.
Flying monkeys. Little shits. All right. Score, danger score, as a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
But that's really interesting. Only after Mount St. Helens erupted.
It's saying that they were possibly an undiscovered species displaced by disaster. So their home may have been filled with lava, or they're, something may have happened to their home or whatever, as though they're displaced by some disaster, bringing them out into the wild. And people are wild, dude. People do crazy shit.
Maybe it could be
dude.
some subterranean creature that got shot out with the.
Oh, I'm like, well, who is that? That's the computer ringing over there. I gotta turn that down. All right, next one, 14, the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah, Fresno Nightcrawler. I know a little bit about this one.
Pretty sure this one's not real, but I saw some footage of this not too long ago that I thought was pretty damn cool. The region is California, Fresno, California. It's a tall, pale, stick-like legs with no torso, moves eerily in security footage. Now,
I didn't expect to hear this one this high on the list.
I didn't even know this one would be on the list because this one's so new. This one just, I only seen this one like a couple years ago.
I've heard of it, but yeah, I think it was something very recent.
Very new. So it's tall, pale, stick-like legs with no torso, moves eerily in security footage, more surreal than threatening, and some theorize alien origin. It's 1 out of 10 danger score. No known aggression. It's just very weird, and it looks like a tripod with 2 legs instead of 3. It's 2, and it just looks like it just kind of it's weird. It looks like it just walks, So yeah, that one's a trip.
Just kind of an unhinged idea.
I mean, I've seen the videos of it. Look up the videos on YouTube, you guys. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty wild. All right, so moving on. Number 15, the Dover Demon. Dover, Massachusetts. Small humanoid with a large head, glowing eyes, and no hair. Seen only a few times in the 70s. Now, it could be an escaped lab experiment or an alien. The danger score is a 2 out of 10, and it seems more curious or lost than dangerous.
Massachusetts.
I'm gonna call bullshit on this one.
Huh.
Anyway, I'm not necessarily. Seen only a few times in the 70s. It could have just been some feral kid with a big ass head running around,
A feral kid.
Damn. I mean, they exist. I mean, I don't want to run into them, but they probably exist. So, all right, moving on to number 16. The Antfield Horror. Region, Illinois. A bizarre 3-legged pink-eyed monster with short arms and a hopping gait. Witnesses described it damaging property and attacking dogs. Danger score is 6 out of 10. Violent during limited encounters. No long-term pattern, though.
Never heard of that one.
I've never heard of this one either. The Enfield Horror, a bizarre 3-legged, pink-eyed monster with short arms and a hopping gait. Witnesses described it damaging property and attacking dogs. Does it have only have 2 arms? 3 legs, 2 arms, and a hopping gait. So it hops because it can't walk with 3 legs, or it would just probably be all fucked up.
That's probably the failed experiment that escaped right there.
Violent during limited encounters, the long-term pattern. I don't know. What do you think this one is? This one feels like
more creepypasta than
something. Yeah, it just feels like written. I don't know.
Some do. It's like there's a fine line between like a creepypasta type of creature and a cryptid, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll move on to number 17.
Yeah.
Beast of Bray Road.
Yeah, that's the one I was just talking. Bray Road Beast. He's got a billboard and everything.
So, Wisconsin, a werewolf-like creature that walks upright and stalks roadsides. Possibly the same as the Dogman, but sightings have a unique local flavor. Okay, the danger score on this one is 7 to 10. It stalks people and vehicles, and it's fairly aggressive, and it actually reportedly stares people down.
Yeah, the
Subca.
The sign that it has literally has it like lurking over the sign. But no, a lady like reported like the hood of her car got ripped off
by the Beast of Bray Road.
By the Bray Road Beast.
All right, that's something.
Like there's, or it's like actually some vehicular damage was done.
All right.
Because see, that's what I thought you were talking about until it got all robotic for a second.
Well, not the werewolf one. Not the
Or
Beast of Bray Road.
the Dogman one. I was thinking I couldn't remember what it was, but I was like the Beast of something.
The Flat Road Beast, the Flatwoods
Beast.
Flatwoods Monster.
Yeah, but I was thinking
one.
it with the Bray Road Beast.
Gotcha.
That was
Gotcha. You just mixed those two up.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah. So this one's more well known, I would say. I've heard of the Beast of Bray Road as well.
Is Champ on that list? The Champ of Lake Champlain?
No.
Really? Okay.
No. We'll get to the next 25 after the
See how low
and
he
another
is on
episode. All right, 18. Ahul, Ahool, region Java, Indonesia. Description: a giant bat or primate with a wingspan of up to 10 feet.
More flying monkeys.
Cries out a loud ahul sound. Okay, so that's exactly what we're talking about. So, Shasta, Indonesia, we have flying fucking monkeys. So, and they're in two separate regions of the world. All right.
It makes sense because thermal vents. If we were talking about how if it is from a hotter type of location, because if it got shut out with the volcanic eruptions, it makes sense that it's like maybe there are in different thermal vents. They're just all over
Starting to feel
the
like
planet.
some of these things, if real, are living in Agartha, and that they're either being forced out some way or they're coming out in some way.
And for the kids at home who don't know what Agartha is,
Inner Earth.
Hollow
Earth.
Only because I literally hesitated for a second, like, wait, oh no, I know what you're talking about. So yeah, the Hollow Earth.
So 19, moving down to 19, the Ningen, the region Antarctica. Description: a pale humanoid sea creature seen by Japanese whaling ships, described as 20 to 30 meters long. That's fucking huge.
Is that like the size of the thing your dad saw?
My dad saw was a sea serpent. It was a snake. It was like was some sort of, and it was, he said it was about 80 feet. He said this is 20 to 30 meters.
20, 30 meters, so about
90, 100 feet.
Yeah.
So roughly the same size. Yeah. But this is a pale humanoid sea creature.
Oh, it's a humanoid sea creature. Okay, I missed that part.
Seen by Japanese whaling ships. So my dad was in Vietnam, and he told me that one day he worked on a flight crew, and he told me one day a bunch of people were off to the side of the ship, and they were saying, holy shit, come look at this, and look at this, and everybody started running over to the side, and they looked over to the side, and there was this huge sea snake, what my dad said, and it was kind of in the wake of the ship, next to the ship, kind of cruising with the ship. And he said it was, if I remember correctly, he said it was about 80 feet long and as wide as a man is tall, so 6 feet. So easily wide enough to have a man fit in lengthwise in it, you know. But yeah, so that's what he saw. One of the things he saw when he was on the USS Enterprise on his, I think he saw that on his first tour to Vietnam. But yeah, wild stuff, man. So the Ningen, this one's crazy because of a humanoid sea creature that's 20 to 30 meters long, possibly an optical illusion or something buried under polar ice. Massive but seems docile. 3 out of 10. Didn't really attack the Japanese whaling ships. But I've heard of the Ningen as well, and I did not know that they were found in Antarctica. I thought they were found around Japan because I knew they were Japanese folklore.
Is that 2 words?
One word. Ningen. Ningen.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was okay.
Okay. And now there's the Loveland Frogman. Okay, so from Loveland, Ohio, number 20, a 3 to 4 foot tall frog or lizard-like creature seen carrying a wand with sparks. Bro,
we got a rogue wizard out here.
I love it, dude.
We got a rogue wizard.
I love it.
Oh
dude.
no!
So check this out. He was once encountered by cops, police officers.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Please tell me they got turned into like squirrels or something.
Right.
Like, please.
Now, some skeptics say it's an escaped pet or something along those lines. But the danger score is number 2 out of 10. They say it's more magical than malevolent. And again, this thing was seen by police officers, dude, not just randoms. You know, like this was reported by cops.
There's a layer of credibility the minute
that cops report
law enforcement.
Yeah, I know.
The minute it gets put in an actual police report,
yeah, I know,
and not by some crackhead, it's like. Then that's when I have to actually acknowledge that it might be real.
Right, exactly.
A frog man. I'm just picturing I'm just literally picturing that the meme little like frog wizard with a magic wand that I keep seeing, and just like a frog man.
Right. That's what I thought. Like some like 3-foot frog with a wand with sparks coming out of it, dude. I want to meet you, bro. Like,
yeah, I want to smoke out with that guy.
I just want him to come to my birthday party, dude. Like,
right. Actually, real talk. I used to have an actual like irrational fear of frogs.
Do you really?
So like so I was a little kid. My mom has a fear was afraid of frogs. So you know, if you're a child and your mother is afraid of something, you're afraid of it too, just because. But no, I was on the back porch of my nanny and granddad's place, and they have a pond, and I'm not fucking kidding. A bullfrog the size of a cantaloupe and a toad the size of a cantaloupe and a bullfrog the size of a softball were fighting, and I was stuck in the corner while these kaijus of frogs were battling until finally the toad shot out its tongue and yanked the bullfrog into its mouth, and the bullfrog's fighting to get out of its mouth. Yeah, no, that was graphic as fuck for a 6-year-old kid.
Well, that's graphic for Exit the Matrix, bro.
It was like, yeah, no, so, yeah, irrational fear of frogs. Like, so Frogman, that'd be scary.
You're here with me now. Everything's
okay,
good.
I'm safe.
You're safe. The kaiju frog is not in the room, okay? All right, number 21, Tikbalang. Region, Philippines. Description, a horse-headed humanoid trickster that leads travelers astray in forests. At least it doesn't, like, trample you or bite you with his horse teeth or something like that. He just leads you astray. He just says, go that way. He goes...
It just gives you bad directions.
Yeah, it just gives you bad directions.
Gas station's 2 blocks that way.
Yeah, exactly. Spiritual folklore entity, possibly interdimensional. Danger score 6 out of 10. Not lethal, but disorienting and mentally manipulative. So if it's disorienting you enough to keep you in the forest and you don't have any food, or you can't get out, and you got this dude with a horse head following you around telling you, go this way, go that way. No, you're going the wrong way. Oh, this is totally the right way. Keep going this way. You know what I mean? I think that would be more annoying than anything, dude. I think I'd
probably pick a fight.
I can't even believe like Tikbalang hasn't had his ass whooped.
Exactly. I'm like, it's probably just easy to pick a fight with him. And
all right, number 22, the Mongolian death worm. Region, Gobi Desert. A 2 to 5 foot worm said to spit acid or electric discharges. Burrows under the sand. Descriptions are terrifying, but no concrete evidence that this exists. Danger score is 9 of 10. Toxic, hostile, and potentially deadly. Wow. And I've heard of the Mongolian death worm, but I just thought it was like the graboids from Tremors. I thought they were just they're under the ground, Earl. They're under the ground.
I mean, it's not that. Maybe not quite as big.
Right? Not as big.
But I don't know. A big worm big enough to swallow my head that can spit acid at me or electrify me? No, I'll steer clear.
I feel like this is like a real life movie, real life part of Tremors. I feel like this is Tremors come to life, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of down. Like I kind of want to go see these things.
You just want to be you want to just go be Kevin Bacon out there and go kill the fucking...
They're under the ground, Earl. Get on the roof. I fucking love that movie.
Where's Reba McEntire with a sniper rifle when you
Bert. Fucking Bert, bro. Let's see. Yeah, the Mongolian death worms. That's wild, dude. 2 to 5 foot worms that spit acid or electric discharge. Okay, so they're eels. Eels are a thing, and they're electrical. They can shock you. But what is this thing with it spit electric discharges? Is that real? Could that really be a thing? Is that? And now let me ask you this: like, I don't even think there's a superhero with that power or a supervillain with that power.
No, but yes. And here's why I'll say. In the Gambit standalone series, he's getting mugged.
I see Gambit's got charged,
and he's,
objects.
He spits. He energizes spit and spits into a dude's eye, and his eye explodes out of his head in the
That's
comic.
That's
kind of cool. It was pretty metal. But so I was thinking, if now I'm not a scientist. As much of science as I know is salt tastes salty. Okay, but I would think if the bioelectricity voltage was high enough, and it already had acidic saliva, I would say that it could maybe it could conduct it as it spits, and so you might get tased by it. I again, not a scientist.
I'll be honest with you. On this list, this thing right here is the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
The Mongolian deathworm is the most interesting thing to me. I want to know if this thing exists. I want to go catch one. I want to see one.
Well, looks like we're going to Mongolia.
I'm down, dude. I'm so down. But yeah, bro. I think this is the most interesting to me. But let's move on. So number 23, Groot slang, South Africa. Description: a primeval beast with the body of a serpent and the head of an elephant. What? What the fuck?
A primeval beast.
The body of a serpent and the head of an elephant. Okay? A body of a serpent, the head of an elephant. I have to say it like 5 times to wrap my head around it.
I'm still trying to construct a mental image, and it's not working.
So the body of a serpent, so you got a giant snake's body, and then on its head is an elephant head with the tusks and a trunk and giant ears. Now, apparently this thing's got a goal. All right, so this thing
has a goal.
Has a job, and its job is to guard caves of diamonds. Yeah, bro. It's said to be one of the first creatures made by the gods. Now, let me say something here.
Which gods?
Good question.
That's scary.
Good question. Well, let me say something here. There are a couple of creatures that God created in the Bible. Now, I'm not sure if he created Leviathan, before man, right? So, let me fucking finish the story before you jump in.
I'm just listing things.
Finish it for me,
I want to sound smart too. No, I'm kidding.
All right, so in the Bible, there's 2 creatures that God apparently created before man. They're gigantic creatures, and one is the Leviathan, one is the Behemoth, and the Leviathan is a sea creature, and it's kind of described similarly to this. Just with the body of the serpent. Not saying the head of an elephant. That doesn't say that in the Bible that it is the head of an elephant, but it's a serpent-like creature that's in the water. That's rules over the water. And the Behemoth is a giant creature with I believe this is the giant creature that rules over the land.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's to remind man that not everything is tameable. Not everything that bows to man is going to bow to man's will. But this seems like this is essentially saying that. But from what I'm understanding here, this is on the land. And so I'm not necessarily sure. And it guards caves of diamonds. But this is right here. It says to be one of the first creatures made by the gods. And in the Bible, it says Leviathan. Leviathan is strangely, similar to this.
Yeah.
Minus the head of the elephant.
Well, and that's the thing with different cultural depictions. It's like they could, when you're thinking of a mythological creature, most people are referencing the one thing they see regularly and say, well, it's kind of like that.
Right.
So what I'm taking, my general takeaway is some kind of giant snake or lizard with massive tusks and probably like an anteater nose.
Something along those lines. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, so let's move on. That one's Groot slang. Oh, no. Before we move on, I want to tell you that the danger score on that is 8 out of 10. People say that it's extremely territorial and ancient creature that does not want you to have its diamonds, apparently. So stay away from the caves of diamonds if you don't want Groot slang to you up. Boss 24. Kasai Rex. Region, Congo. Description, a dinosaur-like creature, possibly a living theropod. It's claimed by explorers in the 1930s all the way through the 60s. Maybe a misidentified rhino or a hoax, though. Okay, so they say it's a dinosaur-like creature, possibly a living theropod, claimed to have been seen by explorers in the 30s all the way through the 60s, and maybe a misidentified rhino or a hoax. The danger score on this one's high. It's 8 out of 10. It says, if real, this could be an apex predator. So Kasai Rex is Kasai, Kasai Rex.
Weird.
Yeah, and it's in the Congo. So there's
a lot of undiscovered stuff there.
I'm telling you, bro, there's a lot of undiscovered stuff all over this planet, dude.
Yeah.
In the United States alone, we have territories in Montana that I don't think that people have still ever stepped.
Probably.
There are such giant swaths of forests and deserts and I mean, everything could possibly think of all through this world that we just don't know. We just don't know. Anyway, moving on to number 25. We're going to end it with this one. The Ozark Howler. Region, the Ozark Mountains. Description, a black horned beast with glowing red eyes and a howl that sounds like a woman screaming. A blend of bear, cougar, and goat. Dope.
Yo, that's our creature feature right there.
Ozark Mountains, a black horned beast with glowing red eyes and a howl that sounds like a woman screaming. Ooh. That sounds like...
That's nightmare fuel.
That's nightmare fuel. A blend of bear, cougar, and goat, possibly folklore reinforced by real predator sounds. Now, the danger score on this one is 7 out of 10. It's said to be territorial and vocal and not to be underestimated. I don't know. I feel like this is another one where, like, I don't know. I feel like I'd like to know how many eyewitness accounts there have been.
Yeah, rather than just some old boy had too much shine on his camping trip.
Right, or somebody wrote it. You know what I mean?
That too.
Just you know what I mean. This is one of those ones that's like, what? I'm sorry, what now? What? Huh?
Yeah. Sounds cool though.
Yeah, right.
Part bear, part cougar, part goat.
Pretty wild.
I'm picturing like ram's horns on like.
I like the bear cougar, dude. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
mix,
like bear cougar. Dude, the head would be such a cool mix. Again, makeup artist. I'm thinking of designing this creature.
Right? All right. So the 5 most dangerous in that 25, if real, are number 1, the what? Number 1, the biggest one.
The
most dangerous. What was the most dangerous?
And I remember it was 9 out of. It was the freaking.
Started with a W.
The win.
Gotcha.
That's why I can't remember. I don't say the full word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't use the full word. It attracts them.
Yeah. Well, you're here in Orange County. The thing ain't coming to fucking down the 405, dude. So
you don't know.
Skinwalkers, number 2.
It's spiritual.
Mongolian Deathworm, number 3.
Yep.
Groot Slang, number 4, and Dogman and Kasai Rex are both tied for number 5. So those are the top most dangerous ones out of the 25s that we went over today. We are going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and make a cryptid field manual for the things that for all the 25 that we talked about today, and I'm going to link it in the description box down there. So under the description of this episode, you'll find a link, probably to Dropbox, and it'll be a cryptid field manual. I might just make it a zip file and throw it on there, and that way you guys can download it, and it'll be essentially like a guide for what we went over today. If you guys would like Exit the Matrix to do a video script for our cryptozoology video series, let me know, and we will put out a we will put out a very well thought out storyboarded series on cryptozoology particularly. Now, the 4 episodes or so that Joel and I are doing on Cryptids right now are just some fun. We're just kind of running through what we've seen, what we've heard of, our favorites, some of the most notable footage you've ever seen, things along those lines. We're just kind of talking and having a good time about this. But if you guys want a more in-depth exploration of cryptids, and you want us to really start doing a deep dive into some of these, let us know. Or if you got specific cryptids that you're like, dude, I would really like to know about these ones, we'll do a deep dive for you. We'll bring it on and we'll make it happen. Just let us know in the comment section what you guys want to see on some of these future episodes. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. And Joel, thank you so much for coming in today.
Absolutely, man.
And thank you for being a guest on X the Matrix again, co-host. You're always amazing, brother. I always appreciate you, man.
I always love being on this. This one was actually really cool because I learned about some things I never heard of.
Right. Me too.
And actually, like, things I have heard of is like, oh, it's over here. I thought it was over.
Right. Yeah. I think the most interesting one that I learned about that I didn't know about was the Chupacabra. I just had no clue that the Chupacabra was from Puerto Rico. I had no idea that there were 2 versions of it.
Never
had
knew
no
anything
idea
about the
that
Puerto Rican side of it,
there was a dog version and the reptilian version and a spine version and a non-spine version. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 different territories across the world. Also, I'm learning that a lot of these cryptids, in my opinion, are one cryptid, not just multiple cryptids. Like Mothman and the Thunderbird seem to be the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and it just, what are we calling it at different times in different places?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like, bro, you know what really tripped me out today? The similarity. This is the craziest thing, but this is I love the Mongolian deathworm, but this is the thing that tripped me out the most. The similarities between the explanation of the Flatwoods Monster and Doctor Doom. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you.
Leave it to the nerd to say something like that. But,
Bro,
but you're
by
not
the way,
wrong.
I gotta say something. I'm sorry, but I'm not okay with Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom. I'm not okay with this because you're taking we want Victor Von Doom. We don't want an evil Tony Stark version of Doom. Okay. This feels to the...
Wait, is that the actual stance they're taking?
I'm not sure, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like they're going to find some other version of Stark from some other universe, from some multiverse, some universe, and they're going to bring him in and he's going to be Doom. This is what I feel is going to happen. I hope not. And this is what people are talking about.
I just thought he was still producing the movies and said, I want to be in another one.
And he's going to be Victor Von Doom.
That's what I thought.
How... That just feels wrong to me. He's a great actor. I want to see him successful in everything I see him in. I want him to keep making dope movies. But dude, he's Iron Man.
Give someone else a chance.
Iron Man. I don't want to see Mads Mikkelsen do it either because he was the bad guy in Doctor Strange. If you've already been cast in the Marvel universe, I don't want to see you as another character. That's a money grab. That's all that is as Marvel saying people aren't going to the movies anymore. Let's put Robert Downey Jr. back in this, and hopefully they'll come back. That's what it says to me. That's what I feel that is. I feel that that's all that is a money grab. And be honest with you, Robert Downey Jr. in my opinion isn't even the best choice for Doctor Doom. You could have. There's a slew of other actors out there who have time to play Doom for the next 10 years. B would be physically imposing, and I know Doom is not necessarily a physically imposing person himself, but as the character Doom,
absolutely is.
We want someone who's Doom is arguably one of the best villains ever created in the Marvel universe, in Marvel comics. Period. I want if you do nothing else right, please do him right. Okay, you've done so many things wrong. So many things wrong. You've shit in the mouths of your fans, by the way, Marvel. Literally shit in the mouths of your fans. So stop doing that and give us a good Doom, okay? Give us somebody else. I'm not saying... And dude, listen, the movie's going to come out and you know it's going to be good. You know RJD's going to do a good job.
Because he's...
Right?
He's amazing at what he does.
He's going to do a good job. It's going to be a good movie, but preferably... I'd like to see an original Doom. I'd like to see an original person play the Doc.
But I agree, and I think this is something Tim and I used to talk about a lot, was if you're already making a character, if you're take a comic book film, you're making a comic book film or the Assassin's Creed movie,
right?
You're taking a media that already has a cult following,
huge,
and then we say, well, but
the millions of people.
But what the studio says is, well, they don't just want that; they also want to see their A-lister play their favorite character. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We just wanted to see our character
done right.
We don't need like,
yes.
Dude, you already spent all the money
so
and got our
right.
attention by licensing this character. You don't need to spend more money and get our attention by getting Mr. Face.
You're 100,000% correct.
Because nerds just want to see your character. We don't care about.
That's still a large mistake from movie studios that I think that they make on a regular basis, is thinking that listen, there's two sides to this. Okay, one is, yes, I do want to see Robert Downey Jr. movies. I do want to watch the movies that he's in.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And but what we don't want on that side of that coin is you to force a known actor into a role that a relatively unknown actor is much more suited for, much better, like somebody who we don't give a shit if it's a big actor. We want the best performance. We want the best version of that character. If we grew up playing a video game and you make a video game movie, we want the best version of that character. We don't want the biggest name you can get to play that character. That sucks. That sucks.
And that's actually why I would say DC was... Now, I know DC live action, whatever. DC animated films have been mopping the floor with Marvel for years because we weren't... I say we like I'm involved because they weren't wasting money on star power.
Right.
We already have star power. You want a name? Batman. There's your name.
Right.
You want a name?
And the guy who
Superman. There's your name.
And the guy who voiced Batman, I can't
Kevin
remember
Conroy.
his name. Dude, so good.
That deep, rich
Batman so good,
voice.
bro. He killed it. How long did he do? How long is he still the animated Batman?
No, he passed. But he was.
Yeah, I thought he stopped. I didn't know he passed. Damn.
That was the first celebrity death that I cried over.
Affected you? Yeah.
But
interesting.
No,
he was awesome.
From 1990, I want to say 4 to the last Arkham Arkham Knight game. That is.
Now Arkham. Now I'm just gonna kind of go on. I just want to kind of go off on a little bit here on comic book movies for a second here. So I heard that, and this is what I read before they made Ben Affleck's version of the Batman. Before they made Ben Affleck's version of the Batman, I heard Matt Reeves had written, or was it Ben Affleck? I heard that either one of them, I can't remember which one it was, wrote a Batman movie, and the plot was that Batman gets locked in to Arkham Asylum for 24 hours with Gotham's worst, and has to survive. And that was I heard that script is floating around out there, right? So that could be amazing. You know what I mean?
Give us that film.
Yeah, seriously.
And make that one like Deadpool. Give us the hard R rating, okay? And this is the only time in 2025 I'm going to ask for a hard R.
That's funny. No, dude, seriously, I read that was a thing before they made the Ben Affleck version of Batman, and I thought that was what we were going to see.
Interesting.
With Ben Affleck as Batman. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is a great story. I can't wait to watch this. And then we got something completely different.
We got Frank Miller's
approach. Yes, we got very similar, very similar version. Exactly. So, but no, I want to see that movie. I want to see that Batman movie. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I mean, Dr. Doom. Going back to casting the right people to play the right characters for these movies. Do it. RJD. The reason Iron Man was great and the reason MCU even became the powerhouse it was because of Iron Man, and you cast the right person in that role. He was somebody who, at the time, wasn't doing amazing, and he had a major redemptive arc after that.
Quite like Tony Stark in the books, because Tony Stark's a raging alcoholic.
But here's the thing: Marvel went out on a limb, and they cast someone that was they weren't sure. They were sure he was going to kill it in the performance for sure,
because he
but
does
they
that
were
in
not
everything he
sure
does.
of what the public was going, how the public was going to receive it because of RJD's past. But dude, the public, we want people to redeem. We love redemption tales.
Yeah.
We love to see people who have had issues get better, be better, you know, and have that win.
Yeah.
We love to see that,
Totally.
you know. We love to see root people on, you know, especially people like RJD who are people who want to make us laugh, who want to make us feel, who obviously is, you know what I mean, like great at his craft and seems like a genuine dude. I mean, I've never met him before, but like the interviews I've watched, it seems cool, you know?
Yeah,
like,
he's real.
Yeah, he seems like a real dude. I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Right.
I just know what I've seen on interviews and shit, and that's what I can say. But my point is that they did it with him. They initially did it with him. When he was Iron Man, he wasn't this huge star. He was RJD still, but
he was known, but he was also
he was having some
he was
things.
both famous and infamous.
Right, exactly. And like so Marvel, DC, all these people who are going to produce video games and movies based on video games and movies based on novels and movies based on older movies that you're going to remake a classic, don't fuck it up. If you're going to remake Labyrinth, please don't do that, by the way. Don't remake Labyrinth. If you're going to remake a movie like that, though, don't cast people that you think are going to make money. Cast people you think are going to do the best job in the role, and the money will get made. Mm-hmm. It's always like something that just about life in general. I always try and remember is I never ask whenever I find myself asking myself how can I make more money, I always have to stop myself because that's not the right question. The right question is how can I provide more value? How can I provide more value? Because money is a symptom of value. Do you get that?
No, yeah.
That's a correlation. There's a correlation there. That when you provide more value, more money comes to you through that value.
Yep.
More monetary gain and what you need in life are going to get heaped upon you because of the value that you're offering the world and life and people. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm asking you guys to do as casting agents. Offer us value. We are the watchers. We're the viewers. Give us value in our characters. We don't care. We don't want a name. We don't want a major name. When you guys announced that Chris Hemsworth is Thor and Chris Evans is Captain America, that's cool. Good choices. Fine. Those are fine choices.
I thought Chris Hemsworth was perfect because I had only ever seen him in one thing prior to that.
Fine choices, again.
Perfect choice.
But my point is,
Yeah.
they don't need to overload their movies with like the biggest names they can find.
Right.
Is if you can give us the characters genuinely with actors who are your Logan Marshall Greens or your, by the way, one of my favorite, favorite actors. Christian Kane, yeah, he's fine. He's a TV actor. He was on Leverage, right?
Yeah, I still think Christian Kane would be the best Wolverine.
Maybe.
He would be the best Wolverine.
I could buy it. I mean, I'd buy it. I'd watch it. You know what I mean? I don't know that I agree with it, but I'd watch it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let us let the fans have a win. Give us a good character. Like, that's all we're asking. We're not even asking for
it's kind of one of those. You don't.
We're not asking for fan favorites. We just want you to do justice to the to the original work. You know, to the source material. That's it.
Like the star we're here to see, the star we came to see is, in this example, Thor.
Right.
I didn't need to, and I didn't need Matt Damon to be Thor to get me to go see. We got this A-lister. Like, Thor's already an A-lister. Okay, no, Thor was a C-list superhero, and we all know it. But still, like, come on, I know.
That's pretty funny. Nah, he was. I remember my uncle was a big Thor fan when I was like a Marvel Thor fan when I was growing up. You know, so I knew him to be one of the bigger ones. You know, back then, but not necessarily like even really like. I was a big DC fan when I was a kid. I had the Green Lantern, Submariner.
Submariner.
Like Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, like all their action figures. You know what I mean? Like I had God, what was the Archer? I can't remember his name. It wasn't, I mean...
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow. I had Green Arrow. I had dude, so good. Like, you know, we just want our source material to be left alone. You know what I mean?
We want to see a real life depiction of what we saw in the comics.
That's right.
And we don't care whose face it is.
That's right. And we do to a certain extent. I mean, you know, but we are very flexible as long as you're giving us the best, you know, the best thing possible. But, you know, I loved Marvel growing up. I loved, you know, and my favorites were like The Flash, you know, and things along those lines, and Flash is DC.
Yeah.
But like I was more DC. Actually, Marvel didn't even come. I was a kid. I was a young kid, like in the 80s, and Marvel wasn't that prevalent back then for some reason. I don't remember Marvel being as prevalent as DC. I don't remember Spider-Man being as prevalent. I mean, I think Spider-Man was probably the most. If I could think it back to in my day in the 80s and 90s, Spider-Man and the Hulk were probably like two of the most prevalent superheroes from Marvel, and maybe Wolverine.
Yeah, I was about to say,
so you got those three.
I was about to throw in Wolverine.
So
those
three from Marvel in like the early 90s, mid 90s, they started to get big. But like, dude, like
but those were the first three characters they sold.
Yeah, other than that, for me, it was Superman, Batman, and the Flash. Add in Green Arrow, add in Green Lantern, you know. Throw in a Submariner, like those are like my main ones that I grew up with. I mean, later on Marvel came out and they had Iron Man, and I mean, even that I didn't even really know who Iron Man was that much until I saw the fucking movie. Like, dude, I didn't know much about Marvel at all until their movies came out. I knew way more about DC. I was way more into DC comics and DC characters than Marvel characters. I loved Spider-Man. I loved the Hulk. Those were two great characters. And I didn't, and back then as a kid, you don't delineate between the difference between Marvel and DC. These are just comic book characters. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? They're all comic books.
And they're all superheroes, and all superheroes are friends.
Bingo. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you get older and there's this like, okay, well, these exist in this universe and these exist in this universe, and it's a whole different thing.
The first one that I knew, the very first comic book superhero character that I knew had nothing to do with any of them was Spawn.
Love Spawn.
Spawn was like, that was the
great character.
Okay, there's all these teams, and then there's this badass.
Yeah, this guy who's he's like an agent of hell, and his suit is the thing that eats these souls. That, you know, and his suit. Did you know his suit acts completely autonomous of him by itself? He could be unconscious, and his suit will literally fight for him while he's like not even awake.
And also the cape, the suit and the cape are two separate entities,
right?
But they're together but separate or something.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I just knew the suit.
It's two separate consciousnesses.
Is its own thing. Yeah. But yeah, man, Spawn's a gnarly one, dude. Like, I watched this thing the other day about like Spawn versus Dr. Manhattan, like who would win, and obviously Dr. Manhattan would win every fight ever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's anybody that I could think of who, you know, has the ability or the power or the
yeah, Dr. Manhattan's
the breadth to take on Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, I mean, he can manipulate reality itself, time itself, everything, you know, that's ever been created, you know, can, you know, so I don't know. But hey, I loved Spawn too. Spawn was fantastic, you know, and I'd like to see them start making the variant comics into movies, you know. I'd love to see that, you know. I know that's been a thing over the last few years. Variant has been real focused and bringing out solid characters, and I'd really like to see them start to be brought to the big screen soon. But yeah, man, I mean, so yeah, that's the end of our little rant on Dr. Doom and everything. Love you, RJD. Absolutely love Robert Downey Jr. Think he's an amazing actor.
Yeah, brilliant actor.
Want to see him continue doing great things. I wouldn't even mind. I would be honest with you. I don't mind if you bring back Iron Man. I don't care. We don't give a shit. We know, Marvel, that you have this multiverse thing going on now. So if you bring Iron Man back in some way, shape, or form, that's fine. But
no one stays dead for more than 2 years.
Yeah, but give us Doom. Give us a good Doom. Anyway, we love you guys.
I just find it confusing. That's really what it was. It's just like, is he playing a different character? Is he the same character?
Dude.
Is he what?
Exactly. So that concludes our Doom talk, our Cryptid talk, and we didn't go into any Renaissance Fair talk today, so no big titty Renaissance Fair talk today, Joel.
Well, there it is.
Well, next time. It's always there for next time, you know? So, guys, I always want you to remember that you're spiritual beings living a physical experience, not the other way around. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching Exit the Matrix, you guys. My name is Eddie Booze. This is Exit the Matrix, and I will see all of you guys next time. Take care, y'all.